right, I'm soon going to hand it over to Jen Powley for the introduction. I'm very fortunate to have met Jen quite some time ago through my work as an occupational therapist. Yes, I said fortunate, not unfortunate. Yeah. To sum up, which we could just talk about that tonight, but we won't. Because anyway, your headrest would be terrible. So to sum up, Jen is an award-winning author. She's a hilarious person. She's a tireless advocate for others, but you are a reluctant advocate for yourself. She's driven, and she is absolutely a force, and she's the catalyst for all of us being here tonight. So I'm going to leave it up to you.
Thank you, Cher. The Directory of Nursing Homes and Residential Care Facilities, published by the Department of Health and Wellness, states, nursing homes are an option for people who have difficulty performing everyday tasks, such as dressing or bathing, and are appropriate for those who are medically stable, yet have nursing needs beyond home care. If nursing homes are an option, what other options are there for people with severe physical disabilities? There is self-managed, attendant care administered by the Department of Health. If you qualify for that program, the department provides funding that covers 6 or 7 hours of attendant care per day, depending on what the attendant charges per hour. What is an individual like me supposed to do for the remaining 17 or 18 hours? For me, it looks like a nursing home might be the only option. According to the 2016 census, there are 240 Nova Scotians between the ages of 18 and 60 who have also had to go down that route and reside in a nursing home, despite being young and having much to offer their communities. According to a website for an alliance of the adult residential centers and regional rehabilitation centers, mainly in areas outside Halifax, another 600 Nova Scotians with a mix of physical and intellectual disabilities, as well as some with psychiatric disabilities, are housed in an institutional setting, meaning that at least 840 Nova Scotians living with a disability are institutionalized. People are finally becoming aware of the crisis in long-term care in Nova Scotia. There was the 2016 report from the Nurses Union about the inadequacy of staffing levels. Then the report from the Minister's Expert Advisory Panel, released January of this year, which states, increasing staff at the point of care is needed immediately to assist with activities of daily living. It goes on to note, it was most profound to hear from staff and many of the sector representatives about the guilt and shame they feel not being able to provide adequate care. And yet, Premier Stephen McNeil continues to say he is not putting any more funding into nursing homes. What better alternatives to nursing homes exist? Canada ratified the United Nations Convention of the Rights of Persons with Disabilities back in 2010. The convention states in Article 19 that countries that ratify the convention recognize the equal right of all persons with disabilities to live in the community with choices equal to others, and shall take effective and appropriate measures to facilitate full enjoyment by persons with disabilities of this right and their full inclusion and participation in the community, including by ensuring that a. persons with disabilities have the opportunity to choose their place of residence and where and with whom they live on an equal basis with others and are not obliged to live in a particular living arrangement. B. persons with disabilities have access to a range of in-home residential and other community support services, including personal assistance, necessary to support living and inclusion in the community and to prevent isolation or segregation from the community. What do those 840-some people living in institutional settings have to say about their choice of where, with whom, and how they live? Was their choice made on an equal basis with others? The fact that we are having this panel tonight tells me that Canada, and in particular Nova Scotia, is not living up to this part of the convention. In 2017, Nova Scotia passed the Accessibility Act, which states that the government acknowledges it must take a leadership role in the process of achieving an accessible Nova Scotia. I would like to see the government live up to this leadership role. I would like them to uphold their commitment to the UN Convention the Government of Canada ratified. And I would like them to stop their blatant discrimination against people with severe physical disabilities. Thank you so much for listening.